Okay, Vutomi, you can tell me about your project. I think this is about the first time we're meeting. So give me an overview of the project and what you've done so far. Oh, sorry, I was muted. So Vutomi, tell me about your project. Give me an overview and what you've done so far. I think this is about our first meeting or so. So give me
Um,
a general overview and where you are at the project, so that we take it from there.
okay, I'm doing the project on asset management, so it focuses more onto the maintenance of the equipment. As we've been using the system in the hospital, but we have so many stuff that we need to do, which is actually a problem, especially when someone else was here before us and they didn't get to update all the files and in the hospital. So I came to think of a project like this where we'll be able to attach the service report. Usually, when they send the service report to us, they they send them electronically. So they email them, which will be easier for a technician to just attach the service report on the system. If they can just go onto the system, get that equipment, and they attach the service report so that even anyone can review
Mhm.
what the result of the service was, or even for 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 corrective maintenance, if I may say, because if an equipment was maintained and then if a report was attached to say that this is what was replaced on the equipment and the outcome was this, then we'll be able to track and see how often was that part actually replaced. It will be easier. So even during audit time, they can do it. Let's say the head office of an institution can actually do the audit without even coming to to the hospital or site, as they will be able to see when was an equipment service. They will be able to review the report and be able to review the corrective report. So far, with my project, when I sent through a proposal, you advised that I add a scanning device. I have started building the scanning device. I just need one more component. I've been having it hard to get that component, but eventually I thought of an alternative for the EEPROM to to connect there on my project. So I realized that the the alternative component I will get at Mentech in Joburg. I'm organizing on getting that. That's actually the only component that I'm waiting for, that I need to finish off my project. Actually, almost done. If you may refer to the appendix of the report, I did attach the invoices of the components that I have bought and I have assembled to do the testing. So now, when I get that component, the Pro, I'll be able to finish off. I'm gonna get it sometime this week to finish off with the project.
Okay.
The programming side of an app is done already, and also the programming of the microchip that will be making the decision for for scanning the barcode.
Mm-hmm.
The program is done. I've run some tests to see if my code will be able to handle or do what I needed to do to scan and send the confirmation to the screen, if it will be able to do that. I've done some tests on there. So I'm just lifting on to testing the barcode scanning side because I haven't got the EEPROM.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So you've actually gone find your project. And
Sorry?
so I say you've actually, from what you've explained, you've gone find the project.
Yes, I'm verifying the project.
So you think you'll be able to finish in the next 2 weeks or so?
Yes, I'll be able to finish as soon as I can get the EPROM. That's the only thing that's actually holding me back now. If
Mm.
I can get the EPROM, then it I'll actually be done with the project. It will be just to put it in on the circuit and do the final test.
Okay, great. So let's have a look at the document that you sent, and so that we can start suggesting possible corrections.
Okay.
So this is your document, right? The one you emailed.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, when you say equipment management system, shouldn't you narrow it down a bit? The question would be what kind of equipment? Because you're focusing on medical equipment, isn't it?
Yes, I'm focusing on medical equipment.
So if you say equipment management system, catering equipment is equipment. Gardening equipment is equipment. Aeronautical engineering equipment is equipment. Heavy lifting equipment is equipment. So what equipment are you talking about? So I think the title has to reflect what the project is about. Don't you think so?
Yes, I think so. You're right.
So if
You're
you say
absolutely
something
right.
like medical equipment management system, that narrows the scope and helps one to really understand what kind of equipment you are talking about.
Okay.
So perhaps you may need to update that title.
Will do.
Okay. Now let's look at your abstract. Asset management is a systematic approach to the governance and value realization of the equipment that an organization has and responsible for, blah, 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 blah. Asset management is a system that involves the process of developing, operating, maintaining, upgrading, and disposing of equipment in the most cost effective manner and leads to organization effectiveness and growth. It is essential that an integrated system be developed to keep record of the equipment. Okay, just give me a moment.
Okay.
Hello. I'm good and you. What is this about? Because I'm in the middle of a meeting now. Oh yeah, yeah. So, please, can we talk in an hour's time? I'm in the middle of a presentation now. Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, thanks. Okay, yeah. Sorry about that.
No problem.
So, it is essential that an integrated system be developed to keep record of the equipment owned by an institution such as hospital. It makes it easier to prevent. Okay, fine. Let me tell you how the structure of an abstract should look like. So this page abstract you see should actually be like a mini project. What I mean is this. When I look at your abstract, I should be able to tell what is this project about, right? So your abstract must contain, okay, the introduction where you tell us a little bit about the project. Your abstract must tell us what you plan to do, which means your project's proper, problem statement. Your abstract must tell us what methods you plan to use to achieve or actualize that project. And your abstract must tell us what results you're expecting to get or have gotten in the project, and then a short conclusion at the end, right? So that by looking at your abstract, that one page abstract, I know what you want to do or what you've done. I know how you did it, because now there's a difference between a proposal and a project. In a proposal, you are saying, this is what I want to do. In your final
mm,
document, you are saying, this is what I've done. So even
mm,
the language, the tense, will differ from the proposal to the project. Proposal, you have not done it yet. So you're saying, this is what I want to do. Final document, the work is complete. So your language will change to, this is what I've done. So
mm,
in your abstract, you are saying to us, you give us a general introduction, then you tell us what you have done, or if it's a proposal, what you want to do. Then you tell us the methods you use to do it, and then the results you achieved, and a short conclusion. So those are the components that we must see in an abstract, so that by looking at your abstract, that one page, I can tell exactly what the whole project is about without having to read the whole thing.
okay.
So the question is, did your abstract meet this criteria that I just mentioned?
No,
So what is missing?
not really. The
Mm.
what's missing from my abstract is um what I've done
Mm-hmm.
and
How you did it, the methods you used.
how I did it. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
the method that I've used and the results for sure
The
in the
outcome.
conclusion.
Exactly. So that's what you need to correct in the abstract, right? Let me
Okay.
just see if I can find an example to show you from a previous project. Okay, let's go to Catuccello. I think this person, if I'm not mistaken, did a similar project to yours, public health asset management system. Okay,
Mm,
okay, so let me just quickly, I'll share screen, and then let's just have a view of the abstract and see if it follows the same pattern. I'm not sure, but let's see. Okay, the abstract here is short. I don't know if this is the final one or the initial one, but they say this project aims to develop a system in the form of a software that will aid in the improvement of asset management in public sector. So this is more like the problem statement, or a statement
mm,
of the problem. The system will ensure that health technology assets are managed following ISO 5500 policies and procedures. Then they say the software will be developed using, now you see the method, C# programming language, equipment lifecycle, and reliability engineering will be the fundamental systems in which this programming is implemented. Implementation of this system will result in, you can see now, telling you the outcome. More
yeah.
detailed equipment records, useful information such as quantity, lifespan of equipment, as well as a full record of the repair and maintenance history of asset, which will ensure that asset management have ample and useful information, blah, 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 blah. Then the last paragraph, the system will incorporate a tracking module, which will enable users to locate which unit the asset is stationed at a particular time. Reliability, cost effectiveness, and cost saving, and improve patient care and safety. So you can see some of those elements I mentioned. It may not be all, but at least you get the gist. Now,
Yes.
let me see if I can find one more. Let's quickly go to another project. Mm, okay, just want to check for another one. Okay, let's see this one from Neo. Okay, let me share screen. The title of this project is Patient Facial Recognition with a Tracker. And this project is used to track psychiatric patients in the world. to make sure they
Mm.
don't escape from the ward and injure themselves, etc. Okay, let's quickly look at the abstract. Okay, there's some hidden text somewhere, but at least let's have a look. This project is designed with an overview of South African public health hospital or institution when it comes to dealing with psychiatric patients. Most of the institutions are understaffed, and it makes it difficult to have the undivided attention to the mentally ill patients. Patients get to stray out of the hospital unnoticed, and in most cases can be noticed after a long time. By the time the incident is noticed, the patient might be already in danger. So this is like an introduction. The
Mm.
main aim of this project now is telling us exactly what you want to do, a statement of the problem, is to design a patient facial recognition with a tracker which enables the monitoring of psychiatric patients at public hospitals or institutions. Then it goes to the method. The project will have a GPS tracker with the ability of tracking the patients over a range of 20 kilometers. It is designed to detect and track which patients leave the holding area without psychiatric permission. It will increase the security in terms of keeping the patients. Okay, the system will allow the security guard that the patient escaped or left the ward. Now it's talking about the outcome. They will also be
Mm.
wearing a bracelet tracker that enables the tracking of the location in a matter of few seconds. The system will be relevant, efficient, filled with highly advanced intelligence software to okay. Now, that's the gist. So it has some of the elements, not all of it, because as I work with students, we correct some of these things and make sure all of those elements are there. So a general introduction, a statement of the problem, the methods you are going to use to solve them, and then the outcome or result you're getting from it, and a short conclusion. So
Mm.
that's the format of the abstract. Any questions on abstract?
No, I've got the aspect of it. So
Okay. Now, the next thing that is important for us to look at is your problem statement. Again, let me share screen. So, your problem statement here says medical equipment are the most valuable assets to the hospital environment. They are very expensive when they are purchased, maintained, and they need regular maintenance for safety and compliance reasons. As a clinical engineering technician in a hospital, I have seen it very important to have a computerized maintenance management system where repair assets and preventive maintenance reports can be uploaded. It is very difficult to do manual filing of equipment records, especially when there was a technician who left the facility and never kept the record up to due to lack of time to print out and proper file. Okay, fine. Now let me ask you one question.
okay.
Your problem statement here, does it tell us exactly what problem you are trying to solve, capturing it in the form of a statement, encapsulating it in form of a statement? You have explained the problem, but have you told us the problem that you're trying to solve?
No, it's actually at the end. I think it was supposed to be structured to have a problem before I
Mhm.
can say what is it that I need to
Yeah.
solve. So
Okay.
I think the last sentence was supposed to come before.
So when we talk about a problem statement, there are two ways to do it. You give us like a short background to the problem. This is what the problem is. And then you say the aim of my project is to, then you tell us exactly what the problem, the project aims to achieve. The aim of this project is, or the purpose of this project is.
Mm.
Then when you state that, you are like capturing the essence of what you want to do as a statement, which we call the problem statement, a statement of the problem you are trying to solve.
Mm.
It's always easier with examples, ne? So let's look at examples. You see, when I read your problem statement, I should be able to tell immediately, oh, this is a problem she's trying to solve, without me
Mm.
looking here and there asking questions. Again, let's come back to this one. Let's look at Neo's one. We'll look at two or three examples so that you can really understand how a problem statement comes across. Okay, so here we have, can you see the screen? Am I sharing screen?
No, not
No,
yet.
let me share. Okay, so chapter one. So there's the introduction, where they gave a general introduction to the whatever. Then the problem statement. Look at what she said. The purpose of this project is to develop and design a tracking device with facial recognition that can help monitor the movement of psychiatric patients who often stray out of hospital unnoticed and end up getting injured. Does that tell you exactly the problem she's trying to solve with this project?
Yes.
Okay, so that's when you capture the essence of the project in a statement. Everything else you write before that or after that just helps, gives us a background, okay? But you need
Yes.
to capture the essence of the problem you are trying to solve in a statement, which we call the problem statement. Now let's look at another example because examples make things clearer. Let's look for another project. And then this other project, ultraviolet germicidal irradiation system. I'm going to share screen. That's the title of the project, ultraviolet germicidal irradiation system. Looking at the title, you cannot fully understand what the project is about. But when
Mm.
you go to the problem statement to try to see, okay, now let's also look at starting with the abstract. Let's see if it has those components. You see, the abstract here has a general introduction, starting with what happens in coronavirus and the problems that we have with that and reusable mask, face mask, and all that. Then it says
Mm.
more and more information is being shared from, okay. Then it says this project is aimed at designing an affordable UVGI system for the decontamination of N12 masks. So it tells you exactly what the thing is trying to solve. And then it goes, the main fundamental purpose of this project is blah, blah, blah. Now, we are looking at the problem statement. Okay. So it gives you a bit of a background in the first paragraph, second paragraph, and in the third one, it says, the purpose of this project is to design an affordable UVGI system to decontaminate the face mask in order to be reused. Can you see that you've captured in one statement the whole essence of this project?
Of the project, yes.
So when examiners are looking at your problem statement, they are looking for that statement. Apart from everything else you write there, they want to see that you have captured the essence of your project in form of a statement. And that is the problem statement. Now you can break it down into sub problems, because how do you eat an elephant? Tell me. In Limpopo, how do they eat an elephant? Do they swallow it whole?
No, they make small pieces.
Exactly. You break it down into small chunks. So if you have a big problem, you want to solve it, break it down into 4 or 5 different parts so that by solving each of those parts, you have solved the main problem. And those are the sub problems. And for this person, after stating the problem here, capturing the problem statement, the purpose is to design an affordable UVGI system to decontaminate the face mask in order to be reused. They break it down. They say in order to solve this problem, the topic will be thoroughly researched. So you do your research first in your literature review. Okay. Preliminary literature review will be conducted to understand what others have done in this field so far, identify what works, what doesn't, any limitations and spot opportunities. And then the second sub problem will be to design and build a UVGI system prototype and then to test. And how do you test? She mentioned how the testing will be done. So let's look at one more example. Um, let's look at again Neo's example of problem statement and sub problems, so that you can see after presenting your elephant, you tell us how you're going to eat that elephant by breaking it down into small sub problems. So the problem statement here, the purpose of this project is to develop and design a tracking device with facial recognition that can help monitor the movement of psychiatric patients who often stray out of the hospital unnoticed and end up getting injured. So it's very clear what this project is about. To break it down into manageable chunks, which we call sub-problems, she now said designing of the device, which will be capable of recognizing and tracking the psychiatric patients, will be achieved in the following ways. So the first sub-problem is to design a patient recognition circuit with a camera. The aim of the circuit is for the capturing of patients to the system. Audible and visual alarm will be installed, okay, and so on. The second one, design of a tracking circuit, which will be having a GPS module that comes with the antenna. It is able to detect up to 6 satellites for data transmission, and web page will be designed so that it can show the received coordinates, blah blah blah. The third sub problem: designing of software and linking of the entire circuit by using ESP32 microcontroller. Program will be uploaded to the microcontroller for controlling the entire project. And finally, there's fourth sub problems: integration of hardware and software together and test them for their functionality. And this test will generate results as according to the user specification or requirements, right? Okay.
Okay.
So you see how she broke it down into the steps she's going to follow
To
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 solve this
follow.
problem. So by following each of those steps, the main problem would have been solved. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So see if you can do the same with your project with the mm, yeah, the problem statement and the sub statement and so on. But let me plug in my laptop. The thing is about to. Okay. So let's come back to your project. No, this is not your project. Where is your project now? I need to close this one. Okay. Okay. So work on the problem statement. If possible, break it down into sub problems.
It's no problem. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Then let's see what else. Yeah, your study objectives also need to be clear. And instead of just starting with bullet points, you can start by saying something like, the objectives of this study will include the following. Then you can put your bullet points, right?
Okay. Okay.
And make sure those objectives are very clear. What do you want to achieve by doing this project? Okay, so make sure they are very clear. Okay, importance and benefits of the study. Yeah, okay, let it be clear as well. Then we see your budgets and then your conclusion. Mhm. So maybe when we meet again, we will look at your literature study and see if it's enough. Because with your literature study or literature review, this is where you look at work that have been done in this field in the past. What have other students done? What did they achieve? What are the limitations? And how will your project uh, improve that? What is different
Mm.
about your project? How is it different from what others have done? Is it faster, cheaper, more cost effective, more user friendly, smaller in size? Things like that are things you look at. How does yours compare to theirs? What did they do that you feel, okay, this one's method is not the best because of one, two, three, but my method or my project will improve on that because I'm adding one, two, three, or doing things differently to make it cheaper, faster, more cost effective, etc. So here in the literature review, they want to see if you have done some background study to see what other people have done in the past related to this topic? What can you learn from it? And what are the pros and cons of similar projects? And how can your project improve on that? How is your project different from that? How is it better, cheaper, faster, quicker, smarter, more user friendly? So those are the things that, so once you've reviewed what other people have done, you now come and conclude by saying, okay, in my project, although this person did this, I am going to do that. Although this person had that limitations, mine will overcome that limitation because I'm using this software or this method or this technique. Those kind of discussions, you see.
Yes.
So that's what we want to see in the literature review. And also in the literature review, this is where you. Oh, I thought now I. Hold on. I think I plugged in my laptop. Oh, okay. Plugged the plug, but I didn't connect the thing to the laptop itself. Ah,
Then go check.
it's connected now. So where was I? Yeah, literature reviewing, eh?
Really is being
Uh-huh.
specific
So the
and
other thing I wanted to say is that with the literature review, this is where you can now cite other authors, other researchers, other scientists. You cite from journals, from books, from projects, from articles, from conferences, or whatever. So you do this, you cite them. Like if you are quoting what they have done, you put it in bracket, the reference, you put like the citation is what you put in the text here, like according to Vutomi 2014,
mm,
you put that in bracket. Then you go to your list of references. You now give us the detail of that article where Vutomi was speaking. Um, the title of the article, the dates, the name of the journal, and maybe you got it from the website. You give us the web address, the date you downloaded. Those details will now be in the list of references. But here in the document, you cite in an article written by Magwaza 2014, the name and the dates, okay? Or in an article titled, you put the title and the date. Then you go to your list of references and put the detailed reference so that if we want to go back to that article and see what exactly you are talking about, we use the information in your list of references to look for that article. Okay? So in the literature review, that's where you will now cite the sources you've consulted to get your information from. Now, I don't see much of that in your literature review, which means, and the authors, sorry, the examiners are going to say, okay, no, this student didn't do any background reading to find out what the other asset management software is out there, how they were developed, what are the features, what are the advantages, how does it work. The student has not done any study because we cannot see anything cited here, right? So take note of that. Check and see what's been done in the past. I'm sure you get lots of them on the internet when you search asset management software or you search for any keyword related to the topic. You should get some information. Yeah. Okay. So, any other question? I think let's not do too much too soon. So go through this, do the corrections while you're working on the hardware side. We'll meet again in a week's time, 1 week time, to review what you've done.
Okay.
Yeah. Monday morning, 9:30 will not be a good time because usually I have lecture with students from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. So the meeting will probably be after 11. Let's say 11:30. Will that work for you?
Yes, I will make time. It will work. I'll make time.
Okay, great. So I have recorded this session. I'm going to upload it and send you the link in case you want to go through and go over what we have said once again.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, then. See you Monday next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Next time, bye.